And that was our first contestant in the Junior. I still live on a farm back home outside of Teeswater, and I used to raise rabbits. Figured there was a few bucks in that business, make a little dough. But I kind of had a different idea. I was going to train these rabbits to do tricks, and then I'd sell them to the circus. I thought this would be a good idea. And so I used to get out every day, and I'd get my little rabbits out, I'd line them all up, and I'd take my stick and I'd wrap it on the ground, and I'd say, do a somersault. And by gall, I got some of them that would roll over pretty good. Well, there's one day, I thought, well, I got to take these rabbits and really make them work hard and everything. And I raised them in the barn. I didn't want them running around outside, so I had them in the barn. I guess you could call them ingrown hares. But I took these two rabbits that I was really working on hard, and they just wouldn't pay attention to me. I got so mad, I took them upstairs with a little bag of pellets and a little water, and I threw them in a granary up in the top of the barn. I said, now you guys stay here. I'm going to come back in a couple of days and teach you a couple of tricks then. I forgot about them. I went up, I don't know how long, it was months afterwards, and I thought, oh boy, I'll take this stick and I can teach them a few things now. And I opened that granary door, and there were more darn rabbits there than I could shake a stick at. And two of the little jiggers, they went right out past me and out into the big field that I have out behind the barn with big bales in it. They were running around and around having a wee of a time until all of a sudden the neighbors got 4 dogs, and they came running over and started to chase these poor little rabbits. Well, they were running. They went around right behind one of these big bales. Little Heart's just a patting, you know. And the one turned to the other and said, well, what are we going to do? Do you want to try to outrun them, or stay here till we outnumber them? And the other little one said, well, you better start running, fella, 'cause I'm your brother. Okay. Number 2 in our junior class. And that was our second contestant. You know, Janice, my first wife, said before we left home, you know, are you kind of nervous and hyped up about this weekend? And I said, no, I actually feel pretty good. And, you know, I never thought another thing about it until I was just in the washroom and a lady asked me the very same thing. And the reason I'm saying that is there better not be a guy run over to the desk here right now, because there was a set of 3 keys found in the ladies' washroom, and they're at the registration desk. And I didn't see any guys in there when I was there. So they are over here. If you're missing a set of 3 keys, better go over there and get them now, or it could be scary when you go to get into your car to go home. Wonderful. And we'll carry right on here with contestant number 3. And that wraps up our junior class in our 14 and under. You know, we don't have that many streets in Teeswater, but we do have one back alley, and there's these old alley cats out there, and yet there was still one that was kind of a highfalutin type thing. And she used to strut around the old back alley and get the best scraps that were there, and all of a sudden the old alley cats lost track of this cat. Never saw it for about 3 or 4 days. And finally it came back. It was walking down the alley, and one of the old alley cats goes, "Hey," said, "where the heck are you been?" And this prim little cat said, "Well, I had a hysterectomy." And the old alley cat said, "Ah, come on. Can't you call a spade a spade?" Okay. I think we're ready for our next one. Into a new category right now, the 18 and under. And we're here? We're here. Wonderful. And our first contestant, please. And that was our first contestant. As I mentioned, as a marketing representative, you get to go into all different businesses on behalf of the station to sell advertising. And the other day I was in a kind of a lingerie type store, and this guy came walking in, and I knew he was very uncomfortable just even walking in the door. And he walked up to the counter and he said, "I need a brassiere." And the lady said, "Well, that's fine. What bust?" He said, "Well, I don't know. I think it just wore out." Are we on 2 or 3? I'm mixed up here. I think it's 2, isn't it? This is number 2? FEU. I should just look down at you people. You've got all the scores all down, them all judged and everything already. All right, this is number 2. And that was our middle contestant for our 18 and under. The other day I heard about this blind rabbit and blind snake. They met up with each other out in this field, and they didn't know what each one of them were, because they were blind, obviously. And the rabbit said, well, look, why don't we kind of touch and feel each other, and maybe we can kind of come up with what we are. Well, he thought that was a pretty good idea. So the snake said, I'm going to check you out first, and he kind of felt the rabbit, and he says, you know, he says, you've got 2 long pointy ears and 2 real sharp pointy buck teeth and a real cute fuzzy little tail. He says, I think you're a rabbit. Well, that was just fine. He said, boy, I'm happy to find that out. He said, I'll check you out. And he pawed him over a little bit, and he says, well, you've got 2 beady eyes, you got a forked tongue, and you're real slimy. I think you're what they call a lawyer. Okay, we're ready for our final contestant in the 18 and under, contestant number 3.
Call them forward. Pardon?
It's coming up. He must be going to give away albums or something. But it's a real treat once again to have Ivan and Vivian around. The one thing I must say that well, no, I'm not sorry that you don't have it, Vivian, but every time we've seen Vivian in the past, she's always had this water pistol. And anybody who knows Vivian knows that before you get a hi, how are you, you get a squirt in the ear or something, and then you go, oh, Vivian's here. So I was really kind of glad to see that she didn't have it this weekend. We'd be all suffering from frostbite. And I have a garden hose out back. I was ready for you, but I'm not going to do it now. So anyhow, the youngest competitor, something very important to you folks, definitely.
Very much.
And this goes to Peachy Urbanowicz, 7 years old. It's the youngest competitor, and she's from Winnipeg. And a cute little doll. Sure. I'll turn the mic over to you folks to make a few comments about your award.
Right. Of course, one of the things that means a lot to us are the young people coming along, and it's nice to see this little gal that we're going to make the presentation to right now playing so well. My gosh, what's the little gal's name? Has she got a name? I see you got a Moncton pin on there. Yes. Well, sir, we've got a little presentation. I'm going to ask Vivian to make the presentation of the violin trophy. I really like this idea this year. This is really something. Everybody's going to get one of those instead of the normal trophy and whatever. And I'm also, on behalf of Vivian and I, going to make a presentation of all of our albums, LPs. She can take them home and learn every tune, and I'll be back next year to hear you play them all. Okay, dear? There you go. Can you hand all those? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Peachy.
Congratulations, and a special thank you to Ivan and Vivian for throwing in the albums. Very, very nice touch. Lets you know just how interested these people are in keeping fiddle music alive and well all across Canada. We sure appreciate their efforts and their hard work in coming out. Thank you. I have a partial sports score. This just in. Toronto, nothing.
Partial.
And moving right along. Well, I said it was partial. What's wrong with that? Chicago 2. End of the fourth. Okay, we're going to have all of the novice competitors up onto the stage. Everybody who competed, could you make your way up onto the stage, please? As quickly as your fast little feet will bring you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're still short some.
One little boy went home.
One little boy went home. 2, 4, 6. So everybody's here. Wonderful.
Okay.
Go this way and then everybody else
That's
gets
right.
some. Okay. So we'll start with our third place. And our third place goes to Kevin McCauley from Killarney. Kevin? And second place goes to Monique Giroux from Rathwell. Monique? And our first place, receiving the Lynn Mitchell Trophy, Lynn's up on the stage, and it goes to a young lad from Winnipeg, Curtis Urbanovich.
And for all the children, here's your bow tie, boy. Okay, and for all the children that have been competing, we're going to give them trophies.
And a nice added touch to keep the young blood coming along. All the competitors in this category, the novice, will receive a little trophy, thanking them for coming out and partaking in the contest. A great idea. Wonderful idea. How about a round of applause for all of them, eh? They did such a great job. A lot of weight there, isn't there? Yeah. Okay, third place goes to a competitor from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Don Walters. Third place. And second place goes to Carnell Sawitsky from Saskatoon. And in first place, and the winner of the Joe and B. Fraser Trophy, is Eric Venstilant.
Another big smile for you. Turn around, Eric, please. Good boy. That's excellent. Okay.
Wonderful.
And this is a new trophy this year.
Okay.
Or this time.
And we have a brand new trophy this year, and this is for the best old-time waltz, donated by Minnie Delorme, and it goes to Eric Venstilant.
You turn around and have your picture taken with Minnie. Thanks, Amol.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, young fiddlers of today and future fiddlers for tomorrow. Great, great job. And thank you. And thank you as well to all the people who donated trophies, because without their support, it just makes this... very much.
A little bit later.
A little bit later.
That one.
Okay. I'll put it in my later pile. If I didn't have all this stuff, I'd be listless. One, two, three. We're all set. Our junior, 18 and under, and third place goes to Rene Giroux. Giroux. Sorry, Rene. Rene Giroux.
Oh, Rennie.
Get a little further back.
I guess so. Yes. Never to be rich.
Okay.
Wonderful. And second place goes to Jill Grieve. And first place, and the winner of the Lawrence Snyder Memorial Trophy, goes to Ben Beveridge from Saskatoon. Congratulations.
Would you like to say something, Dean?
Not really,
no,
but
here.
congratulations. And just keep on fiddling. Oh, I
Okay.
guess we
Would you
gotta-
like to turn around here and have your picture taken? Great. Okay.
Wonderful. And we have Jordy up here. He's going to be presenting the Miami Fiddle Festival Trophy for the best old-time waltz, and it goes to Rene Giroux from Rathwell. Rene. Rennie, I guess it would be. Great job. A lot of terrific young fiddlers.
Okay, now we can move right into the senior, making sure that the golden and senior age now.
Which one do you want to do first?
Golden.
Golden? Wonderful. We're all set. Thank you, competitors. Congratulations. And we'll get the stage just set up here really quick, and we'll roll right into our Golden Age finalists. We've got 3 in that category, and as well 3 in the senior category.
All ready to go, eh?
Thank you.
And that starts off our Golden Age class. We have this fellow back home in Teeswater, not just too brilliant. His elevator just doesn't go all the way to the top, if you know what I mean. His weather stripping is leaking a little. He was walking down the street one day, and he met up with our local priest. And he said, "Hey, wait a minute, sir." He said, "Your shirt's on backwards." And the father said, "What?" He said, "Your shirt's on backwards. There's no buttons down there." He said, "No, wait a minute." He said, I wear my shirt this way because I'm a father." He goes, "Go on." He says, "I'm a father too." He says, "I got 3 kids at home. My buttons, they're all down the front." He says, No, my son, you don't understand." He said, I'm a father of thousands." The guy said, "Holy smokes, you should have put your pants on backwards too." And we're ready now for our second competitor in our Golden Age category. Right now.
I guess so.
Okay, that was number 2. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Janice and I, we have a little girl, 2.5, and we just had a little fella 3 months ago, Michael. So I had the pleasure of being in the delivery room again. You know, now they're putting us guys through that too. Actually, it was a great, great moment. And it's a lot different than when even I was born, I guess, because they never used to let the fathers into the delivery room. And back when I was close to being hatched, I guess there was 4 fellas there waiting for their wives to give birth. And of course, all of them were out pacing around the waiting room, just going crazy. And the one guy said, look, we're just wasting valuable time. Why don't we get a deck of cards and we can play some poker or something, get our minds off this? Well, that seemed to be a good idea. So they went up to the nurse's station and asked, well, of course, they didn't have playing cards, but she said, we're throwing out some medical cards, so why don't you just take 52 of those and make up your own rules, and away you go. Well, that was a good idea. So they handed out, counted out 52 and shuffled them up and dealt them out. First guy took a look and he said, well, you know, I've got a half-decent hand here. I've got 2 tonsillectomies. Well, the next guy said, no. He said, I'm sorry, I have you beat. I have 3 appendectomies. Well, the third fella said, that's nothing. He says, I'm going to win this. Might as well pay me right now, boys. He said, I've got 4 open-heart surgeries. Put his cards down on the table. The last fella said, wait a minute, not so fast. Said, I've got the winning hand here. Said, I've got 5 enemas. And the guy that had the cards on the table, he said, wait a minute. He said, 5 enemas, that doesn't beat 4 open-heart surgeries. He says, it sure does, because in my books, that's a royal flush. Okay. We're ready for our next competitor. And that's our 3rd competitor in the Golden Age category.
A little bit lower, I guess, yeah. I think that's all right there. Thank you.
Okay, we got everything all straightened out. There's 4 finalists. I stand corrected. And we have our 4th guy downstairs. I said, well, I guess that's it for this class. He said, oh, wait a minute, I have to play yet. So, to the judges, just a clarification, there are 4 in the golden age and 4 in the seniors. And we've had 3 in our 4th contestants out here right now in the golden age category.
That's G, I guess. Oh, you got it all.
Pandy? Okay, our first contestant all said and done. There's these group of fellas, they went out of the bar one night, headed across the parking lot, and they had one fella, they were basically carrying him across the lot. There was a police officer just sitting up the road, and they watched him, they came across, and he left him on the side of the road, and the group of 6 guys went down, and they hopped into about 3 different vehicles, away they went, and this fella, he staggered across the road and fumbled with his keys and got him into the latch, opened the door and got in behind the wheel and fumbled around in there for a couple of minutes. Started the car up and away he drove, and the officer, he said, this is just too good to be true, and he whipped around behind him, pulled him over. He got out of the cruiser and he walked up to the fella and he said, well, you want to get out of your car, sir? I want you to breathe into this little device here. The guy said, no problem. He stepped out of the car and he blew into this little black box and it registered perfectly fine. The officer said, my batteries must be kind of dead in here. He said, can you walk this yellow line? And the guy, he got out of away from the car and he walked down that yellow line just as straight as an arrow. And the officer said, now I want you to stand back, tip your head way up, and touch your nose with your finger. And the guy did it with no problem. He said, what's going on here? You had so much trouble getting into your car. The guy said, well, I'm the DD. The officer said, you're the designated driver? He said, no, sir, I was the designated decoy. And we're ready for our second contestant in the senior category. Our second contestant, please. Okay, that was number 2. It's I've got a couple of special announcements to make right now. We've got a brand new couple here tonight. They're not brand new to the festival here. I know I've seen them different times before here at this festival. Gord and Nancy McCauley. They're from Manitou, and they were married today. Where are you? Just over there somewhere. Congratulations, folks. All the best. That's just great. Yeah, my wife and I, we've just celebrated 8 years of happy married life. And hey, 8 out of 10, that's not bad. And Bud Watson standing over here, it's my pleasure to make the announcement that Bud Watson has been awarded the Man of the Year for Govan, Saskatchewan. Yeah. How about that? Kind of lets you know what sorry type of year Govan's had. No, I'm just kidding you. But Bud and Ann were down to our place for the International Plowing Match in Bruce County. That's my home county. And they were down there, spent a bit of time with us. And we sure enjoy their company. A great, great couple. And there's Ann right down here. Wonderful. And we're going to move right along to our next competitor, which happens to be number 3.
Not too high there. There, that's good.
That was our third contestant. You know, Linda, she's been running around here and she looks so nice. Hi, Linda, how are you? Do you want my attention or are you just waving hi? Of course, always looking very nice. And this past week she was into Winnipeg and she parked the car and she was taking the bus around to a lot of different places. And it was kind of a nice sunny day, one of those warm ones you had last week. She was wearing a really short, tight dress. And I read it in the paper, you did too. And she stepped up to one of these buses, and it was really busy, and there was a whole bunch of people, and she went to step up onto the bus, and it wouldn't work. So she was getting embarrassed. She reached back and pulled down the zipper a little bit to give her a little wiggle room, you know. Tried it again. Still wouldn't work. So she reached back, tugged it down again, and tried another time, and it still didn't work. So she reached back, pulled it down again. All of a sudden, this guy behind her picked her up and set her right up in the bus. And oh boy, she was really happy. She headed down the aisle and just stood there, and this fella came along right up beside her, and Linda said, "Oh boy, I'm sure glad you did that. I was getting really embarrassed back there." He said, "You were getting embarrassed. You pulled my fly down 3 times. I might be looking for a place to stay tonight now." And we're ready with our third contestant in our senior category.
Okay.
No, not okay. Everybody stand down here. I have a feeling we're playing golf. Everybody's going 4, 4, 4, 4. I got out to lunch again. Sorry about that. This is number 4, so you're the last one. You're the last one, our final competitor in our seniors category. Okay, well, we'll just let the judges rattle their fingers over everything out there for the next few minutes. I have a good friend who is a school teacher, and she was teaching this school where they have actually two little Japanese kids that came in, and these little rippers were just as sharp as a tack. And she just couldn't get over how well they seemed to have a grasp on history, not only here, but in the U.S. and in Europe and everywhere. She just couldn't get over this. And one day she had this little pop quiz, and she said, now, just to kind of make this kind of interesting, what I'm going to do is, since this is Friday, whoever gets the answers to these questions, they don't have to come to school on Monday. They can take Monday off and just come to school on Tuesday. So that was fine, and the teacher said, okay, the subject is history. And the question is, who said, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind? Well, little Ying up with the hand said, teacher, that was Neil Armstrong, first man to set foot on the lunar surface in 1969. She goes, wow, very good. Very, very good. I am impressed. And just for that, you don't have to come to school on Monday. Little Ying said, oh, no, teacher. That would be a disservice to my family. They came over here. They pay for my education. I must come to school. I will be here on Monday. She said, oh, well, that's your choice. I'm very impressed with your attitude. So the teacher said, well, who said this? It's not what your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country. Well, Ying's little brother, Yang, up with the hand, said, teacher, I know. That was John F. Kennedy in his inaugural speech, felled by an assassin's bullet, November 1963. Wow, she said, I am impressed. Boy, that's just so amazing. And for getting the right answer, you don't have to come to school on Monday. He said, oh, teacher, he said, that would be a disservice to my family. I must come to school. They're paying for my education, and I must be here. I'm here to learn. The teacher said, well, I am impressed, and, well, children, we're out of time, so let's carry on. We'll do this some other time. Well, little Johnny in the back row, he goes, gall darn Japanese. And the teacher, my friend, she turned around and said, who said that? And little Johnny said, the Iacocca, U.S. Auto Pack. Hey, we'll see you Tuesday, teach. Yeah, I think it's just coming up and around the bend here. They're all here? Great. Bless your hearts and all your other vital organs. That's wonderful. We don't have the list yet. We don't know who got what, but thanks for coming out. Is this just in? The score is still the same, by the way. Still 3-2 for the Jays in about the 7th, I believe. Hopefully they can hang on to it. Okay, 4th place in the Golden Age goes to Alfie Taylor from Kelowna, BC. Picture. My uncle was a photographer, but he met a very untimely demise. He locked himself in his dark room and died of exposure. And 3rd place, and it goes to Archie Smiley from Robsart, Saskatchewan. And 2nd place goes to Ken Ethan from Binford, North Dakota. And our winner, 1st place, the winner of the Bill Delorme Memorial Trophy, goes to Walter LaCroix from Portage-la-Prairie. Way to go, Walter. Yeah, that's the way. We'll get the shiny side out.
Good. I gotta get a kiss from this room.
Oh, Walter.
Just a word of warning, the kisses stop there, all right? Thought he was working his way down the line. I was getting a little nervous. Hold it. We have another one here. Two. Sure enough, there are two. And it's the Dodge Charlet Trophy for the best old-time waltz. It goes to Alfie Taylor from BC. Way to go, Alfie. You got a fiddle for each arm now. And as well, we have the Miami Fiddle Festival Trophy. And Jordy Jackson's up here to present this. This goes to the oldest competitor in the Golden Age category, and that goes to Mel Ham from Carmen, 84 years young. Mel, right here. Congratulations.
Here he comes. He's coming.
Yep, coming up around the corner. That's right.
Okay. Jordy and Mel, this lady would like a picture right here. Great.
More flashers around here.
Very, very much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Great job. Golden Age. And we have the list. Okay, fourth place in the senior category goes to Ella Cook from Portage.
Picture.
Pitcher.
Good, thank you.
And third place goes to Winston Simpson from Carmen.
Picture.
Pitcher. Put out those Colgate smiles. Looks like a box of chiclets there when Linda grins. She has such nice white teeth. Second place. That's where we're at. That was meant as a compliment. Honest. Lynn Mitchell, second place.
Picture.
And first place and the winner of the Grant Lamb Memorial Trophy goes to Jerry Michaels. Sorry, Jerry. Jerry Michaels from Holland, Manitoba.
Good.
And we have another couple of awards to give away before we close it all down. And that is the Best Old-Time Waltz in the seniors group. And that's the Don and Thelma Alexander Trophy. And that goes to Lynn Mitchell from Manitou. Lynn.
Okay, stand
The best jig.
Okay.
Everybody's got their pictures all looked after. Okay, the Mel Ham Trophy. And this goes for the best jig. And it goes to Jerry Michaels, once again from Holland. Wonderful. Well, that just about does it for all the awards, right, Linda?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Great. So I understand the floors has to be cleaned off.
Yes, it does. I have one more presentation to make, and ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, I'm not finished with this guy yet. He's staying at our place. And there's cornflakes, and there's all kinds of things that could happen before he goes to bed tonight that...
It's your bed.
No, it's not.
Well, I meant that. Like it's your bed at your home. It's not like I'm...
Honestly,
I
Gary.
just put this one...
Never mind. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that you have enjoyed having Gary Balabak here. I know he's just a real pleasure to work with.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You bet. I agree. He's just a super guy all the way around. He's a devoted husband and father. He's got 2 wonderful children. And he's just the best MC I've had to work with.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'll get even with you, Gary,
I'm
after
sure
that
you will.
zipper joke. Honest to God, I will. Thanks again, Gary. We've enjoyed. Now we want you to enjoy yourself tonight at the dance, hoping Michael will sleep and you get a chance to have some dancing tonight. And tomorrow's your day to sit back and relax, and we're going to put Willie to work tomorrow. Thanks,
Wonderful.
Gary.
Looking
We
forward
love
to
you.
it. Thank you.
We did it again. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you once again to our Thanksgiving Day section of the Miami Fun and Fiddle Contest. And I see a very nice crowd here this afternoon. We were a little concerned yesterday with the early start. There weren't too many people in the building when we started, but they sure came along later. I would like to welcome you on behalf of the committee. After yesterday afternoon and last night, with the number of contestants that we had, and it's really gratifying to us that you take so much interest in this event. We really appreciate it. So without more talk, I'm going to ask Arlene Orchard to come forward and open the event with the 2 anthems, and she will be singing a hymn for Thanksgiving Day.
All rise, please. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes
For the fruit of all creation, thanks be to God. For the gifts to every nation, thanks be to God. For the plowing, sowing, reaping, silent growth while we are sleeping, future needs in earth safekeeping, thanks be to God. In the true reward of labor, God's will is done. In the help we give our neighbor, God's will is done. In our worldwide task of caring for the hungry and despairing, in the harvest we are sharing, God's will is done. For the harvests of the Spirit, thanks be to God. For the good we all inherit, thanks be to God. For the wonders that astound us, for the truths that still confound us, most of all that love has found us, thanks be to God.
Thanks, Arlene, and thank you to Joan Duncan, our own Joan, for accompanying her on the piano. Now is our time to remember those who cannot be with us. Everyone has memories, and we like to remember them on this day. So would you please join me in 1 minute's silence, please? Now, you'll be, those of you who were here yesterday will be very, very relieved to know that I haven't written a speech. I decided that if I was just going to tear it up anyway, I may as well not bother in the first place. So. But I would like to get things rolling here. We had a very busy afternoon yesterday with all the contestants, and we really don't know how many we'll have today, so we won't waste too much time, because we were just under the wire yesterday getting things done according to our schedule. My job is, right now, I introduced this girl yesterday as 3 people, and I felt that that was quite appropriate, and I still do. I still believe that, because Linda has worked very, very hard in trying circumstances, to say the least. They've had a fair amount of difficulty in their own lives, and then to be saddled with all the work of the festival and everything else. It's we really appreciate her effort, and she never falters. She's always there, and she always has things done when they have to be done. We can't say enough about this girl. So I'd like to bring her on and let her carry on here. I'll tell you one thing, though. She does it because she loves it. I know that.
That's right.
So give her a hand, please.
Thank you, Clark. Thank you all very much for coming out this afternoon, and so that it just saves me a little bit in explaining to you what kind of a fall we've had. You know what kind of weather we've had. And farming is not the best in the world. I wish we had other things to do that had a nice income, but we don't. And my husband was in an accident 6 weeks ago. He's just very lucky to be here. So that was something that really knocked the stuffings out of me, and it took a long time to get onto the right track here. And, you know, I had to stop and think for a minute and think, holy mackerel, that festival isn't too far away. I've got to get my act together and get thinking properly. So it was a rough fall, but as I said, my payment for this weekend is to see you folks here and having a good time. That's all I ask, and I understand you are having a good time. We've had 2 really good days. Thank you. We've had 2 excellent days. Yesterday, we were bombarded, and I mean bombarded with joy. We had 45 contestants yesterday, the largest we've ever had on a Saturday. And as I said yesterday, I was very thrilled that we started at 12 o'clock noon, or we would have never given the judges time to even get a bathroom break, I don't think. They would have been out there right through from 2:30 yesterday until 9 o'clock last night. They would have been, and I don't think Carl would have been very happy with me asking him to judge again today. But we did have a wonderful day, and I would like to have you have the enjoyment of hearing from a very, very fine fiddler. It's the first time that he's come to Miami. I met him out in Govan when I was out there helping Bud and Ann with their festival. And I said to this young man, I said, Ben, would you please come to Miami? I would love to have you come to Miami. And his mom phoned me and she said, Linda, for coming. And I'm just so thankful, Carolyn, that you brought Ben over to Miami. We've enjoyed having him. And I want you folks to please welcome Ben, and he's going to tell you the tunes that he's playing. And this young man has been the Saskatchewan Junior Champion 2 years in a row, and yesterday he won the 18 and under. And Ben, would you please come out now? He's right here. Trent Berner is going to be accompanying him on the piano. Let's hear it for a very fine fiddler from Saskatchewan, Ben Beveridge.
I'll start out here with a tune. It's called Faded Love. I'm gonna play a medley of tunes. The first two are Dean Bernier's, and the last one is mine. Names of the tunes are Twist of Fate, Four Quarters and a Roll of Pennies, and Chelsea's Reel. Thank you.
Aren't you glad he came all the way from Saskatchewan? He's only 14 years old, so he's got many years ahead of him. Thank you, Ben, and Carolyn, thanks for bringing your family down. At this time, I would like to introduce the judges. Carl Pullman from Glenborough, Gordon Redu from Regina, Saskatchewan, and Harold Wright from Portage la Prairie. These gentlemen will come up and play for you, and then we'll put them to work a little later on. And at this time, I'd like to tell you that I also met Gordon Redu for the first time when I was out in Govan, and thanks again, Bud and Nan, for having me, because I met some very fine people, and I'm very happy to have had them come back to Miami. Gordon said that I'll never be able to get rid of him now. He's going to be here every year. He's never had so much fun in all his life, and he said, you know, these long winter nights that come along and you wonder what you're going to do? Well, he said, I'm taking home a tape and I'm going to replay it and replay it and replay it. So we've really reached Gordon's heart, and he said that he's having a wonderful time, and we're real happy to have him here to judge for us today. Would you please welcome the three judges for today, Carl, Harold, and Gordon.
Okay, we're going to try and play St. Anne's Reel.
Gene Snyder was accompanying on the piano. And they will have a busy afternoon, I'm sure. Our package deal of entertainment, I shouldn't say deal, that doesn't sound right. Please let me rephrase that. Our entertainment package this year was not at all hard to decide. When we knew that we had a 20th anniversary coming, we thought, we want this to be like Old Home Week. And immediately, the McMichael sisters came to mind. They're like family to us, and I know to a lot of you people out there too, so that was just a plus. I mean, they're coming back to Miami for our anniversary. Well, who is going to be our guest fiddler? Ivan and Vivian were number one choice. They too are like family. And they've put together a program that you've enjoyed over the past 2 days, and for those of you that are here for the first time, we want you to sit back and relax for the McMichael sister and Ivan Vivian Hicks's 1-hour show.
Kids into high gear now. Thank you. Good afternoon. Vivian and I are very happy to be with you again this afternoon. And we've had a full weekend, but a great weekend. And I can't think of a better place to be on a Thanksgiving weekend than right here in Miami, Manitoba. And we're nice to see so many of you folks here with us this afternoon. Besides my wife Vivian on the piano, who I always have to have there at my right side. She's my right-hand lady. I know you thought what I was going to say, Linda. And nice to have Marcel Patton, General Patton, on the guitar back here, too. We'd like to do a couple of Eastern jigs for you, if you don't mind. Here's a little bit of Squirrel in the Tree, and we'll do a bit of Spin and Glow. I guess that's a Western tune from the States, but well, it doesn't make any difference. We'll play them anyway, okay? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you very much. A couple of jigs there. One called the Squirrel in the Tree, and the other's called the Spin and Glow. And where they get the names, but that's what they're called anyway. This is the waltz we're going to do right now. It was composed by a lady from Halifax, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, I guess it is. Her name is Elizabeth Durning. She's written a lot of nice waltzes on piano, and a number of our folks back home have recorded them. And here's one here called Michelle's Waltz. Thank you very much. Thank you. One called Michelle's Waltz. We'll send out that one out to any of the Michelles down there today. How many Michelles do we have here today? There's one right here. Are you a Michelle? You're not a Michelle. You can be today. Sure you are, yes. Yeah, you look like a Michelle. Mittel? Well, that's close enough. That's what we'll call it today then. Yes. How many folks here do we have from Manitoba? Well, just hold your hands up. I want to count them, please. And we know we have some folks here from Saskatchewan. Could we just see their hands, please? Oh, they're all sitting in the front. Do you do that in church? How many, let's see now, how many do we have here from Ontario? Oh, we do. Here's a couple right here. Oh, yeah, right, all the McMichaels and, God, the whole congregation's here from Teeswater and that area. Way at the back, too, there's some from Ontario? Is that right? Oh, way over there. Yeah, we know where they sit in church. Yep. How many are from New Brunswick? Well, we do have some other folks here from New Brunswick. Let's see, now, where are they? They're way over there. There they are, right down here, yes. I introduced this lady yesterday. I wish she'd stand up again, because she's a member of our Sussex Avenue Fiddlers back in Moncton, and she just came out for this. That's Lena Richard, and her husband Gerald's right there with her. She's out to visit her daughter and son-in-law in Winnipeg. It's nice to have you here today, Lena. All righty. Let's do a couple of tunes. One comes from Cape Breton, the Chedi Camp Rio. Oh, both of them do. Yes. And, of course, the election coming up. We hope everything holds Canada together, whoever wins. Eh, Winston? I can see it going to be a split right across this country, eh? But who cares? We're all Canadians. As long as we can have fiddle music, as long as they don't take that away from us, we're going to be all right, aren't we? Yeah. Well, Lee Cremo put together a tune way back when Canada was having a few constitution problems. So he kind of made up a tune. He said we'll call it the Constitution Breakdown. So we'll put the two of them together.
Thank you. That one over there on the other. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Set a Camp Rio. That's a little community in Cape Breton around the Cabot Trail and the Constitution Breakdown. We're going to move things back here, move some of the furniture, because things are going to get hot and heavy here for the next few minutes. And these gals, of course, well, they've been out here many, many times to Miami, and they're awfully proud to be here on the 20th anniversary of Miami's Fun and Fiddle Fest. Would you make welcome once again the McMichael sisters? Hey. Ask Janet. We're done. Let's come over here, Janet, and introduce all the girls. Let's stay out just for that. Thank you very much, and I think we'll have, I know they've just danced, and they're a pup. I don't think they're as much of a pup as I am. Janice, would you come up here because you're the youngest one? Got around that one, didn't we, eh? And maybe you can introduce the folks out here. I know I have a heck of a time to keep everybody's name straight. You mentioned to me to mention the name, didn't you? When they were dancing.
Well,
yes.
you know, we can work on that.
We can work on that. I think we're going to have to. Janice, maybe you can come up and introduce all the gals for us.
Okay. Beside me is Karen. We're standing in order of age, and like Ivan said, I'm the youngest. So that's Karen, Judith in the middle, and Rhonda is the youngest at the end.
Thank you very much, Janice, and thank you. Aren't they some steppers, eh? Wow. Pardon? Oh, yeah, there's two more. Yeah, there's an addition in that family, additions in that family now. They're all married, and they got some children. There's probably more on the way down the road. Who knows? You come west for that, hey? They're all staying at Linda's place, too. Anything can happen at Linda's place. We like to do a tune of Ned Landry's. Ned put this one together. You all know Stompin' Tom. Yes, I'm sure he's been around the country. Well, he and Ned are relatives, so of course Ned had to put a tune to him for it. So what? There's a place in it we want you folks to stomp. I'll show you where it is. You got it? You want to practice it once? All right, we all got to be together, okay? Here we go. There's some stragglers here, I think. And I bet they're fiddlers, too, are they? Want to do it again? No, this time we'll do it for real. So we want to hear you come right on to it because, my gosh, there must be 300 or 400 people in here. And, boy, you get 1 foot stomping. Should be pretty good. Let's give her a go. Okay, Stompin' Tom. Now you don't do it. we go again. Over there now. Now we're going to do one more time. Thank you very much. Thank you. We brought another little guest with us from back in New Brunswick, and this is her first time flying, and now you can see she's flying again. She's always ready. As we said before, we sort of helped this little gal along the way. She started when she was 4 years old playing the fiddle, and then she picked up step dancing as well. So we asked her if she'd like to come out and play a tune or two for us today, and we think she has a lot of potential, and we'll send this out to her aunt right down here, Judy, who lives in Winnipeg, in the Winnipeg area. You might call her Racy Stacy, eh? Would you make welcome Stacy Lynn Reed? Hey, want to sound an A? Want to sound an A? Oh, you sound good today on your A. She's going to do a little bit of Sheehan's Reel for you. Thank you very much, Stacy. Sheehan's Reel. She's just the greatest little gal to work with teaching and so on. She'll stay with us a whole hour, hour and a half if we want her to, and we do all kinds of things with her in her fiddling. We're going to bring another mic up here, and I'd kind of like to play a tune with you. Could we do that? It's fine with you, eh? All right. You got any fudge left, by the way? You got some fudge left? We got into it last night. There might be a little left for you. We're going to do a tune here called Wild Rose of the Mountain. Test, test. All right, whenever you're set. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stacy Lynn. Well, we have another gentleman here today from Winnipeg who I used to see on the backs of the covers of the Andy DeJarlis recordings, and I found out he played the second fiddle with Andy. He wrote a lot of his tunes. And then I had the chance to meet him in 1976 at the Maritime Contest down there. He was down to visit. And I can remember very, very plainly, he and Roddy Dorman, remember? Roddy, once he found out that Marcel was from Manitoba and knew Andy DeJarlis, they played a whole hour and a half, 2 hours, just laid the tunes out and away they went. And so we've become great friends over the years, and he was one of the first to meet us at the back door here this afternoon. Would you make welcome, and we're going to have him come up. We'd like to do a tune together. Marcel Mayer. Marcel's getting his fiddle ready there, and we're going to do a tune together. It's nice to see Marcel here today, and nice to see so many folks there. Where's Rosie seated? Where's Rosie over there? Is Rosie out there? It's over. There she is. Yes. We won't forget. We're going to do that tune. I believe Rosie's waltz was written for you, was it not? One of Reg Bouvette's, I think it was. Anyway, we're going to do the other one that you wanted. Okay, dear? Now, don't go to the bathroom. Stay right with us, okay? We're going to do a little bit of the red-headed fiddler waltz, I believe. All right. Nice to have you here, Marcel.
Not my show. I don't know whatever you want. Are we tuned okay?
Well, let's give it a go. Look, I tell you, it's the very same as it was 4 years ago, Marcel.
4 years ago?
All right, D, 1, D, 1, 2. I still like to do a little bit of that backwoodsman's reel with you. This is one of his compositions. I know it's no harmonies, but just some good music comes out of this one.
Well, thank you very much. You know, it's so nice to see you back here.
Nice to be back, Marcel.
It's very, very nice.
And I'd like to comment, as I have all the time, there's an awful lot of tunes now being exchanged from all parts of Canada, and a lot of your tunes, I know, are being played back home, and many other fiddlers as well from out here being played back home. And, of course, you folks, gosh, heard Graham Lee's waltz how many times yesterday? Rosie should have been here yesterday. Yes. God, a lot of the contestants are playing that, and it's nice to hear that. Let's do a little bit of the
Do I know that one?
What's the backwoodsman?
Yeah.
Well, I think we do. It's with the hopefully we do. 1, 2, 1. Maybe we don't. D. Here's Marcel. Thank Marcel again for coming up and doing those tunes right off the cuff. We didn't have any practice on those. All right. Once again, the McMichael sisters. G. why don't we do that right now? Yes. Are you folks having fun so far? So are we. I think we're going to have another little step right now. We're going to get Stacy out here, as well as the McMichael sisters, and they're going to do some little thing together. We're not sure what, but it'll work out, I'm sure. So would you make welcome Stacy Reed and the McMichael sisters? All right, are you set? Now? One more time. Hey! You know how much time we have left. Thank you. Linda, how's our time going? We're doing very well. Another hour, you said? Oh. Another 15 minutes? Oh, I tell you, we're just getting warmed up. At least. At least. Mate. We're just kidding. We had a request yesterday to do a beautiful number. Well, we think it's a beautiful number. I don't know how beautiful we do it, and that didn't make any difference. I guess the tune is. This comes out of New York State, from the Ashokan country of New York, just north of New York City. And a fellow by the name of Jay Unger wrote this. In fact, he was at a summer school, and he teaches there apparently summer after summer. And gosh, he just got so lonesome that he wrote this lament, or this air, and we'd like to kind of do it for you. It's one that's going to be a very much of a classic. It's the theme of the Civil War series, one called Ashokan's Farewell. Yes, we do, Winston. Teenage Calypso. I'll tell you what. Trent is just biting at the bit down there. And then we don't want him to bite his hand off. So we're going to get him up here to do a little calypso. Now, Viv, you just hang back there, dear. We're going to get, I don't know whether he's even played this tune before, but this is one of, actually, who wrote this was Shirley Eckert's mother, June Eckert. Shirley Eckert, the singer, the great singer, you know, written some great music. And we played dances with June and her husband Cecil for years, and she wrote this particular number. She's a great musician, played many instruments. They live in Oshawa, Ontario. Now that you know all the news, here's a little bit of the teenage calypso. This is one I don't even haven't played it for years, and hey. Hey. Let's do it again. Well, while you're there, let's do Calvin's Kirkness Jig. In F. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's do one and out. The one and out. Thank you. 1, 2, 1, 2. Thank you. Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Rub that off real good now.
My God, we're having more fun. Want to do it later in the evening? We'll do it okay. We've had a group of requests here. I don't know whether we can get them all in this afternoon, but if you don't mind, we'll do them sometime today, okay? Rosie, we got to do yours, and I know we've done it before, folks. You think it's the only waltz we know, but we're going to get Bill to give us a little intro. This is a tune that we wrote in 5 minutes one day. It just came to us like that, and I wish all tunes would do that. Hey, Marcel, here's Graham Lee's waltz. Ron, is this one you requested? I believe so. We'll do it for you.
D.